Today, we're going to get straight into it, real estate jargon. And this has been predicated by a discussion with a friend who said that they listened to the API Zambia roundup and were wondering about all this real estate jargon that we were throwing around. So I felt, let's talk about real estate jargon. Today, we talk about one of the most commonly used terminologies, and that is yield. We hear a lot of people talking about yield. Let's see this discussion through to the end so that we both get a very good understanding of what yield is, so that the next time when you are looking to buy property, you look at yield, not just the price, but you look at yield and you know how to calculate yield and what factors come into play when you are calculating your yield. It is the same way like when you're saving money in the bank, you will ask the bank, what interest am I going to get per month from this investment? It is the same thing that you should be looking at when you are buying property, when you are building property. What is the yield that you're going to get from your investment? So, what is yield? Yield essentially is a percentage of your rate of return. And how we calculate what your yield is it is the total annual rental you get from a property divided over the price of the property. So if your property is empty for the year, your yield drops. If your property is occupied, you have a yield, which is better than an empty property because it is about cash flow. So remember that it's very important that when you're looking at your yield, you must look at the rental potential for that particular property. So why is it important? It's important because when we invest in real estate, we invest for cash flow. We don't invest for anything else other than cash flow. And we need to ensure that we have consistent cash flow. What is a good yield? That's another question that a lot of people ask. Internationally, regionally, a good yield is anywhere between 6 to 8%. That is what people tend to benchmark against. And what we found is that the yield actually here in Zambia has now harmonized to the 6 to 8%. It used to be much higher when there was a higher demand and fewer properties, but we're getting into a market of maturity. So just to be able to refresh your memory, remember that you're looking to maximize your rental income and you want to avoid losing money. You also want to be able to understand your yield. So when you are buying a property, you can do a quick calculation. In comparison, you say this property will get me 10,000 kwacha per month, meaning 120,000 kwacha per year, and I'm paying 1.5 million kwacha. It's giving me a yield of 8%. Versus this particular property, which I'm going to pay 2.5 million kwacha, and I'm only getting maybe 10,000 kwacha. There, of course, the yield now drops to a little bit lower than 6%. So that is my property tip for you today, is that next time you're doing your purchase, think yield. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I wish you a lovely and productive Thursday. Thank you.